What's up, WolfPackers? It's your favorite wolf pup here, Killer Mike, back in the studio with a big bad toy store exclusive Wilderness Hunter Crocker from Furay Planet. Front of the box, we see the viewing panel with this ginormous figure inside, along with some artwork and the hunting knife and shotgun. Side of the box, you can see the side profile and you can tell exactly how big this guy is. Back of the box, you get some action shots along with his two different styles being shown off. Here's some more action shots along with all the accessories down here. Other side is again another action shot. Now this is going to be our first Furay Planet figure opening on the channel. We don't know how these are going to be articulated out of the box, so we've got a heater on standby. We got the Wolfpack official safety knife, spring loaded for safety. Now let's get this thing opened. First thing out of the box that stuck out to me was this really cool Furay Planet comic book. And secondly, look at this ginormous figure. Like, even these shotguns and these knives are ginormous. And if we flip it around back, you can see that even the tail is ginormous, along with the hands too. Alright guys, with Crocker out of the box now, we can finally take a look at all of his accessories. And man, does he come with a lot of them. For his first accessory, we have these shackles that go around his wrist, and they even have chains. Yes, metal chains. And before we get too far into this video, I want to remind you to like and subscribe. So he comes with 3 different sets of hands. The first one is his pointing hand with razor sharp claws. The next thing up for the accessory chain is the supersized Bowie knife. And our next contestant for weapons division is the pump action shotgun, which is pretty cool because it looks like it was just made out of scraps you'd find lying around anywhere. And our next accessory is this cool little hat. Why do I say it's cool? Because underneath the top, it's got a magnet. So it attaches right to his head. And these next 2 accessories go hand in hand with each other. But this accessory is the sheath for this supersized Bowie knife. And then on the back, it's got a peg so it slots right under his back. And our next accessory is the holster for the shotgun that comes with a cloth goods adjustable sling. And we also got these weird looking pieces that actually have a pretty cool function, which I'll be showing you right now. Now this is pretty cool because in the box we didn't get interchangeable heads, but instead we got these pieces which allow the croc to look in different directions. Now don't get me wrong, I like interchangeable heads just as much as the next guy, but when you give us pieces that allow us to make the figure look in different directions, along with giving them a head swivel, that's pretty darn cool. Closing in on our final 2 accessories, here we have the jacket, which is pretty cool because it goes from this pink camo straight over to the Benjamins. And this last accessory is probably the most important accessory because this figure is so big and bulky, it's actually pretty top heavy. So with the addition of this tail, it acts as a stabilizer so it doesn't constantly fall over, which is pretty cool. Plus, you also get articulation. With all the accessories out of the way, we can finally check out the Crocker. Now, starting off with articulation, we don't have any head movement because of this piece, which I already talked about, but we do get the head swivel. Now, moving down to his arms, he can lift up his arms less than 90 degrees, bicep swivel, single jointed elbow, wrist swivel, and he's also got the up and down. Now moving down, he doesn't have an ab crunch, but he's got an ab roller along with rotation at the hips. He can kick that far forward and that far back, which is actually pretty far for a crocodile. He's got a single jointed knee, which bends to make him look like he's got horse legs. He's got rotation at the knee, and he's got up and down feet articulation, but mine's pretty tight, so you're gonna have to warm yours up. And for the tail, there's a little bit of flex, but it's mostly just rotating, except for this end piece, which can completely move around. Now, one thing that I really like is you can see pretty much every single scale on this guy. Even on the back, where normally you would have the jacket covering, you can see every single scale, which looks really cool. And also, the side profile kind of reminds me of Godzilla, mainly because of this tail. But would a Godzilla ever be wearing jeans with a belt? I don't think so.
The Wolfpack official measuring tape tells us that Crocker stands at approximately 7.5 inches tall, a wingspan of 13 inches long. Now, with this being a Big Bad exclusive, there's bound to be some differences between the original figure. One of those differences is the fact that these scales are a light shade of blue, whereas the original figure is a darker green. The next difference is with the jacket, whereas with the original one, the whole thing was one single tan color, and on this one, you get the camo print on the front, and then the $100 bills on the back. Normally, when you look at this figure away from a distance, you can see all the scales on the body, but when you get up close, you can see all the texturing of the scales, and you can even see some places where there's a little dirt smudged into the paint. Another cool detail that I like about this is how detailed the mouth is and how deep the throat actually goes. Here's a TMNT pizza slice for reference. Another cool detail that I like about this figure is actually about the jeans, because you can see the stitching and you can actually feel the texturing on the jeans. I think we can all agree that Ursa Major would probably give the best bear hugs. Here we have 6-inch Marvel Legends Spider-Man, wondering if he should be scared or amazed at this wonderful creature. Here Crocker is sized up with your average TMNT Turtle Squad. What do you think would happen if the Venom symbiote were to attach to Crocker?
Now, there were a few QC issues on this figure, mainly with paint scuffs along the body, like right here on the claw, and right here on the clawing hand. There are also some paint scuffs along the scales where the blue paint of the underbelly kind of bled through the scales, but I think you could also just say that he's been running around the swamp for a while, so that kind of makes him look a little bit more dirty and banged up. But overall, besides from the paint scuffs and the fact that you're pretty much going to have to heat up every single accessory, it's a pretty good figure. It's got really good detail and looks super dope. Alright guys, from Crocker to Killer Mike, that's going to be it for this video. Deuces.